Blizzard have updated the PTR patch, and we're a bit concerned because they haven't necessarily addressed the things that could potentially break this game. Thank you for a good time there, Holly. Blizzard says...
What program do you use for
Shush, Holly. Thank you. I'm trying to do an introduction here. So I was just testing 1 versus 1, which took a very long time to find a game. I was actually specifically searching to find a game against Fred, but we couldn't get a game together. So they added in the feature called Stats, which doesn't work now. So I'll show that off in the custom games because the player's left. So Stats doesn't work if a player leaves, unfortunately. So I can't show you that until we do it in the custom games section. So I'll stop these units being noisy. There is an important feature that will probably affect you guys the most, and that will be the camera zoom. So get ready for it. Here we go. So if I scroll out, you can zoom out. So mouse wheel back and forward to zoom in and out. So I would say that this is about 1650, that's about 1750, that's about 1950, and then that's probably like 2100 in terms of the War3 Champions zoom feature. So you remember the War3 Champions, if you type in like zoom 1900, it fixes your camera zoom on that. If you accidentally scroll in, you just type Z and it will bring you back. In this, you don't have a fixed zoom, which is unfortunate, because what I would love is the ability to sort of stop, say for example here. But if I accidentally touch my mouse wheel, then it goes up and then you got to sort of get it back to that exact point. So whilst the zoom feature is pretty damn cool, I'm sure it shouldn't be too difficult to create a fixed zoom as well. Ideally, players should also have the choice to pick their zoom with the slider that was available in the options now. So if we check the gameplay, you got default zoom. Believe it or not, this is actually the most zoomed out, and that's the most zoomed in. I think it should be the other way around, but that's the way it is. So if you have this over here, you're going to be like this inside of the game. When you start it up, it's going to look like that. If you have the default zoom to here, it's just going to set your game to this. But you can't fix your zoom, which is a real shame. So ideally, that would be something that gets solved, because I've got muscle memory to sort of keep touching my middle mouse button when I should be. Another issue that I have with the PTR is the font for the menu, allies, chat, the gold, lumber, food supply, upkeep is still spread, including the font for the ping, APM, and FPS. If you type in chat, though, to all, that does look a bit weird. So it didn't look so weird when I was in a custom game a moment ago, but it does look different, that chat. So let's have a little look at some of these other features that we have. So we have the improved stats, which I'll show you soon. That's going to show off battle. Let me remove that. No, don't. Stop it. Battle tag. So you show off your battle tag, your win-loss ratio, as well as your MMR if you type in stats. Custom games are now global. So Fred, if you want to host up a custom game, I can show that. And we just went over the camera zoom, which has been added. So players can now update their zoom through their wheel up or down, or pressing pig up and pig down on the keyboard. However, you can rotate the camera only using the delete key. If you press the insert key, nothing happens. So they've managed to break the insert key somehow. So if I want to rotate the camera to a specific place, it's very important. Sometimes in competitive games you'll actually see me do this, not because I'm just messing around, but because I actually need to quickly identify a particular unit that I can't see otherwise through the isometric view that I currently have. And pressing insert doesn't do anything. So that's a concern. So we went over the slider option, which adjusts your camera height for players. And they fixed an issue with music not playing in the game. However, Storm Knight's saying that the music... Yeah. Listen, this is Night Elf music. What it's doing is it's almost just playing the soundtrack for Warcraft 3. It's not actually playing race-specific, because the music you get at the start is like the menu music. And then you maybe get a bit of human music. But now we're hearing Night Elf music, and before long it'll probably be Orc music or something. Whoa, that's not correct, is it? Listen to that. So they haven't fixed the music. They've just kind of sidestepped it. They've put music in, but it's not an actual fix because it's incorrect. So this is a bit of the concern that I have really with what Blizzard are doing with this patch, and that's basically a bit clickbaity. We're done. Like, I feel like Blizzard's approach is just like slap it together. Even though they're putting in new features like this zoom ability, which is obviously nice, and the stats functionality, that's technically some effort on their part, and I very much appreciate that, but it still feels like they're just slapdashing pieces together to sort of ship this out and forget about it, which obviously we know they would almost love to do, judging by how they've acted in the past. They didn't even recognize Warcraft 3 on the 20th anniversary, which is bonkers for a video game company to do. Various locations and layout fixes in different locales, so that's fine. Leaderboards have been updated with a friends filter, so we'll go over this stuff in a moment. So I'm going to just show you off the custom game. Waiting for results, because this is technically a ladder game. It's not that complicated. I mean, honestly, we're at the point. Failed to retrieve data. There you go. Well, why am I not surprised? Beautiful. Okay. So it couldn't even do that. So there's the 1 versus 1 game. So it didn't even show it. It's not even registered it. This is actually worse than the previous PTR update when they first released Ranked. Because at least that worked. This hasn't even worked. So what does my leaderboard say? Am I even on it? Because technically, in my profile, I'm unplaced. So if you look at Season 2, which we're on at the moment, because that's Season 1, no games. So this is actually working worse. I'm just going to quickly go over this before I join your game, Fred. Thank you very much for hosting it. If I look up, for example, Krav, you can see him at the top there. Very good player. It doesn't highlight him anymore. It used to just single out Krav, so then you could find him. Although you had to be on the correct number on the leaderboard in order to do that. So let's say, for example, I go to page 2, and I find Never Lucky here. If we scroll up, Never Lucky doesn't bring him. If you try to go to page 1 whilst you're looking at this, doesn't work. Let's copy paste that. Now suddenly I can go back to page 1. It immediately does it. If I type in Never Lucky, it doesn't like bring you to page 2 where he is. Even on page 2, it doesn't show you where he is. You know he's down here. So if you do this, that's me pressing enter. Even if I've typoed it, you can still filter. Doesn't do it. So features that were actually working before aren't really working. And another weird thing is this doesn't scroll all the way up. Is it me? Am I the only one bothered by this? It just looks as high as I can get it. It feels, even if it's case sensitive, let me just type NE. I can't typo that, can I? It doesn't filter anything. Nothing gets filtered. So there's some serious jank going on right now. As you can see, like, this hasn't even registered my game. So, oof. Local area network seems to be working. It doesn't come up with the bonjour. Although, to be fair, I haven't properly tested it because I don't have LAN, so I can't truly test it. But you can bring that up. So if we go to the custom game now, we'll see Fred's game. So you can see the ping here. So the idea is that you'll be able to click on the ping to show the lowest MS, which will obviously be more ideal for you if you're looking for a particular game and multiple have been hosted and you want a good ping. So let's go inside here, and if you like to just start the game off, Fred, we can show off the stats, and then I can do that part as well. So we're going to look at the stats functionality. So this will show my battle tag, although it doesn't work in custom games. So you can see my default zoom is here, right? Because that's how it is on the gameplay here at the start, which really should be over here. But if I do stats, yeah, the text looks weird actually. So Woolaloo, so win 0, loss 0, MMR 0. So this is obviously a custom game. I couldn't show it in the 1 versus 1 because it didn't work. You have to do it whilst the player is still there, I assume. But it would essentially show off your battle tag and stuff like that. But even then, I'm not convinced that's working exactly full-on correct. It kind of looks normal when you type there, but if I'm trying to type in here, it looks weird in the bar. It looks like the same sort of stretched out font here a little bit. It's just not quite right. You hear that, by the way. Listen to this. That's the menu. That's not Night Elf music. That's Night Elf. Sorry, menu music. So that's incorrect. Okay. So if I come out of this, and let's just say, for example, we just quickly show off what it looks like if the zoom is at the far right, which technically is the most zoomed in. I think it should be the most zoomed out, personally. Let me know what you guys think in the YouTube comments. Post those YouTube comments for that algorithm. So we just start this off. And there you go. That's the most zoomed in you can be. So if you zoom all the way out with the mouse wheel, but insert still doesn't work. So don't know. I don't know. I wonder if cheats work in this. I think they do. So the zoom out feature is quite interesting. It's particularly for custom games. That's a really good feature. Obviously in most pretty well made custom games they give you the option to type in a zoom to find the zoom that you like. But for those that don't, then it's a nice feature. So I appreciate that. I would say that's probably the only thing that they've kind of got right here is the zoom out feature, because as for the changes that they made to the leaderboard and such, it's kind of hard to sort of see that. Apparently you come up as a gold bar on the leaderboard, but I'm not even on the leaderboard because my game didn't even work or count. And the things that did work on the leaderboard don't work anymore. So leaderboards have been updated with a friends filter. So you can look at all your... Oh. And your account in the leaderboard will now be highlighted. Yeah, no. Player profiles have been updated to include more match history data. So let's have a look at Crab, although he hasn't played since the previous season. I don't think... you can't actually look at the most recent games, I don't think. View profile. So apparently there's more stats now. I can't remember exactly what this looked like. Maybe it shows you the direct timestamp. But I thought it'd be nice if there was a way you could right-click on this game and then click on View Replay. This is for you, though. I don't have his replay, so I wouldn't be able to do that. That'd be really cool if you could see someone else's games just by doing that. But I understand that with the way the game works, you wouldn't be able to do that normally. I'm just saying... if I looked at my own profile and I go, oh yeah, I wonder what I did in that game, I right click, I view replay from there. That'd be a cool feature. So I'm not exactly sure what they really updated here. It doesn't seem very clear to me, like anything looks any different. It kind of showed this beforehand, but it is what it is. We have fixed an issue where players could not access campaign portraits from the player profile. So that seems fine. I can't really test that so easily, but collection, there's the skins, and there's the portraits, and there's the campaign. The campaign actually crashed for me earlier this morning. It's worked now. Dude, thank you very much for the sub. You got the classic W up here. I think that looks different. I don't remember that being there. So that's showing
have a prime sub.
Classic. Thank you very much. So I don't know if I'd swap over to Reforged graphics. What that looks like. Oh, there you go. See, that changes. So swap them back and forth, and then you just load up. So it's worked since I tested it this afternoon, but when I tested it this morning, it was crashing. So I don't know if that was just a one-off fluke or, you know, just Reforged being Reforged. It's really hard to tell in this game. But obviously another benefit of this, again, it's really the only good thing we got is the zoom. Because you can use it in the custom campaign. Or not custom campaign, we don't have those. The actual campaign. You can zoom in and out. But again, the insert key doesn't work, so that's a problem. And what else do we have? They've added an error message in the editor for players that... Oh yeah, hopefully this is a step in the right direction to fixing what can fundamentally potentially break a lot of potential user-generated content for Warcraft 3 going forwards. I know there's a lot of concern from Rally and Cam, you know, many other content creators, Insane Monster as well, and Shardy, that there needs to be a lot more done to the editor before they push this patch out to actually fix it. Not even so much a case of, oh, we would like these features. Of course, they'd like these features and added, but this is more a case of if you actually go ahead, things might not even properly work anymore. But you know that they're probably going to try to push it ahead because they're wanting to close the PTR on July the 18th. Well, as I'm recording this, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon on the 14th of July, so you ain't got much time. Then they're going to do additional internal only testing before the final release of the patch. So that's the patch. If there's anything else I missed, apologies, but that's basically it. Really, we only got the zoom, and then we got a bunch of things that seem worse than they were before. So, concerned? Yes. Expecting it? Yes. Now, the other topic I wanted to go over was Storm Knight's thread, if you remember. I covered that. I did a video on that. You guys should look at it. Have a look at it, you filthy filths. I did this video. How to fix the ultimate fix list for Warcraft 3 Reforged.
Hello, welcome.
This is going over a thread that Storm Knight created. And if you look here, you got the Hive Workshop thread for it, which does work because they're not Blizzard, so they didn't remove it. Whereas if you go to the forums where it was posted, you get the 404 page not found. So that big thread that showed off all of the fixes for Warcraft 3, what's kind of needed, like the font being incorrect, in-game music not working, which it still isn't working correctly. This goes over lots of details. It's very clear, it's very concise. It's basically a dream for someone that doesn't mind work, because obviously there's a lot of work to do. But if someone, say for example, I was doing a script or something, and someone wrote out a script and had it very clearly labeled out for me, and all I had to do was read it, you know, or look at it and then do the voice acting, that's beautiful. Like, someone's done the work for you to sort of look at all of these, and they've even given you demonstrations with pictures to indicate what's changed and how it should look. Like, that's incredible. Imagine having that done for you. And then they remove it because supposedly the reasons are that on the forums you can't post multiple issues in one thread, something along those lines. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Storm Knight. But what they said is that you need to post items individually. So, for example, I've just looked this up. Bogdan is now posting these individually. Now, the issue with that is that it just spams the forums, and then it also just pushes everything else down. So unless someone is working at Blizzard and actually paying proper attention and going through these one by one, like one by one, I kind of understand. If you were actually doing your job, you can go, okay, this is all I need to look at. Do it. Job done. Next one. Move on. But as it is, it's more likely just going to get pushed down and just become obscure. So unless they keep spamming these over and over, they don't know if Blizzard are truly looking at this, so they're trying to bump it up. So if you had this one place to go where everything is located, they can still do the same. They can just look at it and go through it one by one. So it's pretty sus that Blizzard decided to delete this PTR thread that was going to basically help them out. And there you have it. If you guys have anything to let me know in the comment section below, what you think should be done for the game, what you would like to see done, please do let me know. Type it, YouTube it, thumbs up, subscribe, twitch.tv/Witty, WTiiWarcraft on Twitter, and patreon.com/WTiiWarcraft. Please do support if you like the channel and want to continue seeing the channel afloat. And that's it. I thought I'd just bring you all this information, and hopefully it's nice and concise, and you got some fun out of it. But you know, there's also, you know, the humor is kind of like a self-defense mechanism, really, because it's just watching them sort of destroy the game even more potentially, and it's kind of concerning. Like, just, I almost prefer they just don't bring this patch out, even if I don't get the zoom, just kind of just leave it. what they really need to do is obviously just admit that they don't care anymore and just give the game to the actual community. That's obviously what they need to do, because they clearly don't. You can't even find the game on most of the Blizzard sites. And when I was looking up the Blizzard logos, I could find almost every single logo, including like Warcraft 2, really obscure sort of logos. But Warcraft 3 Reforged wasn't there. And it's just so disgusting how they do this. I'm not going to go down a whole path. I'm almost going to go down a rant. It's just basically discussing how they're treating it. If they're going to treat this game and actually improve it, then please actually do that. Don't just sort of slapdash some things together and then go, we're done. Because that's just... I mean, at this day, we just expect it. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good day. As best a day as you can. And see you later.